Welcome to the Juice Radio Talk Show. 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 Reality TV, church reviews. Let's talk happy love and marriage lifestyle. Come and talk with us. Come and share with us. Come and laugh with us. Come on and pray with us.
Regina and Clovis, special guests. You should be following your lead. Bless. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen on podcasts. We live on IG and Facebook. This episode is sponsored by Truth and Triumph Ministry.
A heartfelt thank you to all of our subscribers who joined us for this video. If you have not already subscribed, go to our YouTube channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show. Subscribe and click on the notification bell to be alerted whenever we go live. Join our private Juice community. Go to www.thejuicecommunity.com and sign up for free. Join us, The Juice Radio and Talk Show. We have our Money Monday financial series. It is a lunch and learn program at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. Also on Monday, we have our reality series and hot topics at 7 p.m. Wednesdays, we have Bible study at 7:30 p.m. Thursdays, we have church news at 7:30 p.m. We also offer motivational moments, happy marriage lifestyle, news from a godly perspective, movie reviews, as well as our single moms club, Let's Talk Ex-Millennials, and of course, our Cooking with Clovis. Follow us on our podcast channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show Podcast, streaming on all podcast platforms. A great big thank you to our podcast production company, RHOA Podcast Productions. They can help you create your own podcast also. Contact them today at houseofnoye.com. Thank you to our sponsor, Custom Apparel Shop. Have them complete your embroidery work and silk screening needs. Do you need a logo created for your fashion apparel or company? Contact Israel Mason today. That is 786-657-7501. Thank you to our main sponsor, Truth and Triumph Ministries. Truth and Triumph Ministries, a ministry that cares about telling people the truth so they can triumph in life. Thank you, Truth and Triumph Ministries, for all you do.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? How's everybody doing? Thank y'all for being here. Listen.
Check out my handle. Check out the handle. Do you see the handle?
I love the handle. You got the picture up. I love that. So happy you got the picture up. But you ain't have to put that boo number 2 down there. You do not have to do that. Let me put Jonathan in his spot up here. But you did not have to do that, Latoya. Let me talk to you through my teeth that my mom used to do when she was mad. You did not have to do that.
I said, "Oh, what is this? Let me see if I put this right here, if it's gonna pop up." And it did.
You know what? Listen, ain't nobody mad except Tammy. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Juice Radio and Talk Show. It is time to have fun. Have some fun tonight. So if you had a bad day today, if you didn't have your smile on today, and you just want to chill and relax, go ahead and get your little juice, a little drinky drink. Come on over here and let's have some fun and let's chat about these great shows. I want to welcome back the great team. We've got Jonathan in the house over here. Oh, my eyes are burning. Jonathan with JoJo Speaks. How you doing, Jonathan?
I'm doing well. I just watched Real Housewives of Atlanta, so I'm ready to get to it. Not sure if anything interesting necessarily is going to happen, but, we'll see. We never know.
We never know. But listen, there's a couple of spots that I want to talk about on there. We've also got my girl Latoya, who's joining us now on our reality chat. Latoya, what's up, girl? What's good, sis?
Hey, what's going on, sis? I need to put in my order for my oxtails and rice.
Ciao. Listen, Cooking with Clovis will be back. Listen, I don't know why he don't realize that the people love him. The people love him. Yeah. And if he would just realize, just get on Pam, the people love you.
Look at that bright light of sunshine that just shined our way. Look at it, girl. You better strike that pose, girl.
Light of the Leo. Gotta give her a love like Joseph. Hey, girl.
Hello. I was about to say good morning. It's been a day. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
How you doing, like?
JoJo, you got like 2 more dates before we back official. But I just had to go ahead and put my title up there to let everybody know.
Child, let me just put this over that title right now. Let me just put this over that title. Aaron is
The shade.
Aaron is reminding everyone that we
Lord,
have a
that's
juice
gonna
community.
cover it up.
We have a juice community for you all.
Hater.
Please join. Go over to thejuicecommunity.com. Get on over there and share some of that backstage laugh and love and info. Listen, we're going to be filling it up. We've got a lot of stuff happening on here. So go over there. Make sure you subscribe. It is free. It is free. And hello, Erin. Thank you for being here, girl. How you doing? How you doing? Okay, so let me move this so Latoya can show her banner because she's so proud of it, child.
Please, please.
Her boo number 2.
Since Jonathan don't want to let the world know. That's all right. I'm like Candy. I'm make it worldwide.
I can see that. I can see that. So Bernice saw it. She said, "Hey, Latoya." She saw it. So you guys, let's start talking about these housewives. Listen, thank you, Erin. She says, "I love the wrap, matching the t-shirt." Yes, I'm trying to advertise. So I had to give me a few shirts. I don't want y'all to think I'm wearing the same one over and over. Had to give me a few shirts. Thank you so much. She said, some noise, like static in the sound. Okay, is it mine or let me see if I turn that off. Let me know if you hear it now, Erin.
Don't you guys find it so interesting?
Go ahead, Jonathan. Jonathan.
Oh, I was going to say, don't you find it so interesting that we saw Marlo in the She by Sheree hat before we saw Sheree in the She by Sheree hat?
Jonathan, you so messy.
It's not messy, it's just the truth.
Jonathan, oh my goodness. Jonathan, I think you're freezing. Okay, wait, are you there? I think you're good.
No, he's fine now.
That's why Drew.
I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Couldn't get nothing because Marlo got everything. Marlo got 15 pieces. She could have got say something for everybody else.
Right, exactly.
Yes, she could have. She could have. But you guys, let's go ahead and I took a few notes, child. I took a few notes here. Let me see if I can get this over here. But the first thing I really wanted to talk about was really interesting to me is Kenya. Kenya said that was the very first time that her daughter had met Kenya's father. Did you guys think that was kind of odd?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought the last time we seen him, they were in a good place.
That's what I thought also.
To be honest, I don't believe it's because of negativity. I think it's more because of the distance that they have between them. Because I think he's out in Texas from the last time I remember them talking about it. So I think it's the distance. And to be honest, I don't believe it's the first time she's met him, though. It might be the first time she's seen him in person. But as far as meeting him, that little girl saw him and knew who he was. It looked like she knew who he was. I'm sure they've done some FaceTiming and stuff like that for sure.
That's a good thing. That's a great way to look at it. Thank you so much. To look at it like that. And she did comment a little bit on it. And, I mean, Kenya's going through what she's going through, but she did say that for her not to have her father in her life and also not to have the grandfather in her life, that was interesting to me as far as that. And the little baby, let me tell you, her baby, I love that she just went in like lights in and just loved on him anyway and just shared her love. I love that she did that. But you guys, let's try and have these kids really have more interaction with their family members. I had to do that. My niece had a baby, and y'all know I've been going through some stuff with my sister, and we're building our stuff back together. My sister and I love her. Just I didn't like what she did. And so we're building that back. And my niece, her daughter had a baby, and the baby is now maybe a month old or something. And it took me a month before I got over there. And you guys, they're 20 minutes away. And so I'm glad that my niece, brought the baby out and said, here, auntie, here's the baby, here, auntie, but let's try and have whatever situations go on in our lives, not be the kids' lives, have them to have those relationships. Because not only did she hug the grandfather, she hugged the other girl that was there, the other family member that was there. So they want to have the relationships, with them. So I'm glad that they did have that. And it was nice to see. All right. So let's get into all the rest of the stuff was messy, y'all. Let's go ahead. Jonathan, where are you going to start out? Because this is your reality chat. Where are you going to start out?
I really wanted to start out with this brunch that the show started out with. And I was shocked and awed that there was no drama at this table, that there was no bickering at this table. All of the girls were there, if I'm not mistaken. Was anybody missing? I don't think anybody was missing. It seems like all the girls were there at this brunch. And so for them to all be able to come together and be able to cohabitate without their voices at a yelling pitch seemed really interesting to me. It seemed like it was very, very, it seemed like I don't know. It seemed weird to me that they were all.
It was interesting. It was interesting. Latoya, I think that's your audio coming in with a little staticky noise in there. So when we have you chat, we're gonna go ahead and just unmute your mic. Well, you got it. Thank you, girl. So when you're ready to chat, we'll unmute you. So in my opinion, is here. Hey, in my opinion. Hello, Robin.
Hey, Robin.
Hello, Bernice.
Hey, Bernice.
Hello, all you beautiful people. So, Jonathan, there was a little shade, child, because
yes, Sheree brought up a lawsuit that Drew was going through with this cook that came to her and wanted to give her, a piece of her product, and Drew was not happy with it. I don't know if Drew didn't pay for it because she was not happy with it. Just Judy always says you can't eat the steak and not pay for it if you finish the whole thing. You gotta pay for the steak if you eat it, honey. So I don't know if there's any validity to the lawsuit. The lawsuit is only for $1,000, which seems to be mighty petty.
That's what Drew said. That's what Drew said. Now that's alleged. That's what Drew said. Even though they had on $1,000, Drew, it's almost $1,000 just to file. So
right. So that just seemed interesting to me. I don't know if Drew's giving us all the details.
I don't know if that's my thought, JoJo. I don't know if she's giving us all of that. But if somebody got to sue Drew for $1,000, then I don't know. Toya, what's your thoughts on this scene?
I'm so sick of her and Sheree not paying their bills. Why is it so hard for them to pay the people that they hire? I mean, you gave $5,000 to sing a charity. You couldn't just get that lady $1,000 and just be done with it, and it wouldn't even have to go to court. Like, I'm confused.
Well, are we sure those checks cleared?
I think Candy came out and said that they actually didn't give anything on Speak On It. I think Candy came out and said that they actually didn't give anything during the charity event.
No, she said everybody gave their check. She said that Drew and Courtney were slow about getting it to her, but she did get everybody's check.
Gotcha. Okay.
Saying it said it on the Bravo after show.
Okay.
Wow. Well, JoJo Robin says JoJo needs to open a Smile Academy.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I smiling is something that I just do naturally. I just automatically smile. I don't know. I feel like my face isn't showing pleasance without me smiling. I don't know. It's just a thing that I have.
I know. I think she's telling you too that you got a beautiful smile. I love that. I love it. Light of the Leo, what's your thoughts, girl, on this scene at the table, child?
I think this was the calm before the storm. I think they were actually all trying. Maybe it's better that you get them in the morning and sober, so it's a little bit difficult to to draw out the extraness, because more than likely their first drink was those mimosas that they had there. So they might have not already been on 10 as soon as they walked in. As far as that money situation, I really thought it was crazy that Sheree felt the need to bring that up when that's the main thing that a lot of people have accused her of. And it almost sounds like it was true because, at least there's actually a lawsuit going forward and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that we know how Sheree gets her money, but we don't know how Sheree gets her money like that.
No.
So it's all rather confusing, but it's not surprising that people have been saying what they've been saying for years now.
Here's the other thing. Why was Sheree the one, again, like Lightolia said, to bring it up? I mean, come on now, Sheree. Of all people want to bring up this allegation.
I mean,
but she don't care nothing for that girl.
Yes, and Sheree is leaning into her bone carrier position. Like, I don't think she's ever going to let that go at all. And
but she can't be a bone. I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
And I also found it very interesting that Candy brought up in her last speak on it that they're trying to show Sheree as this motherly figure who's trying to bring everyone together. However, Sheree is still an issue with at least two of these girls that are on this cast. And how are you going to bring everyone together when you have so much of a rift between you and some of these other girls? I don't understand how she's going to take that role on when she's got drama.
That's right. Go ahead, Latoya.
How's she gonna be a bone carrier and a healer? You can't be
Right.
both. You gonna heal the people or you gonna carry the bone to the people? Which one you gonna do?
Oh my God. Robin said, "Who's saying I love your smile? It's all about yours, Jonathan." Oh,
Shanice.
Shanice.
Shani, thank you. Robin also says, "Jennifer, you are commenting on the housewives. How are you not embracing innuendo to suggest how Sheree gets her money?"
Let me tell you something.
Well,
You know, all we can continue to think about. Well, whenever I think about Sheree, I go all the way back to Chateau Sheree, where
yes.
we were all very confused, befuddled, and bewildered as to how she even had the money to build that home over the 17 years. And I'm just exaggerating, but it is close to that amount of time that
It
it
was at
took
least
for,
10. At
or
least
at the
10.
very least 10
Oh,
that it took her for her to make it. And we all know that if you have the money, it's not going to take long to build anything if you have the money. But it sounds like she was paying for things in installments and things of that nature, for all
mhm.
we know. And allegedly, they say that the house is not even in her name. That's what they be saying. So
Child.
that's where I start, and the confusion continues on forward. She talks about all this money she put out for Sheba Saray, but like someone actually asked on Twitter, like seriously, who has actually gotten an order, made an order, paid their money, and gotten their Sheba Saray merchandise? And I only saw one person that responded to that, and she said she made the order. She created the order so she can pay the order in installments. She got all of her Sheba Sheree stuff, but
Okay.
Hmm.
she was never charged.
Wow.
Maybe that's a problem. I never see money flowing into Sheree's pockets
Well,
outside of this show.
and another thing people are confused, and even the cast was that the Sheba Sheree ensemble that was presented at the fashion show is not the Sheba Sheree that's on her website, because the guy that designed the material at the fashion show, she didn't pay him. So he
Right.
pulled all of his designs. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why she had to go to Shein
Mm-hmm.
and,
Exactly.
copy and paste on their stuff. So people don't want that stuff that you have on the website. They want the stuff that they saw at the fashion show.
See, this is what happens when you're not a designer, when, this is not your field, when this is not your ministry, you know what I'm saying? When this is not something that you do for a living, this is just something that you wanted to slap your name on like you're an actual celebrity. You know what I'm saying? There's not enough effort that is put into it. It seems like Sheree is putting in the bare minimum just to say that she has something, and that's not working for me. And it's probably not working for the audience either.
Well, Robin said, "Let's talk about Sheree's fraudulencies. They are all Andy Cohen's inventions. It was Andy who coined She by Sheree."
Oh
Well,
wow.
she said on Twitter, She by Sheree's return policy was blasted. She also says, "Is fraudulencies a real word?"
It sounds good to me.
I'd use it.
I feel good about
Oh
it.
my goodness. Well, I don't know about all that, but I'm going to tell y'all about my part, what I think about as far as this dinner, brunch or whatever that they had. I thought it was really nice that the guys decided to do this. I thought it was real nice that Ralph, helped put all this stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like how Drew, even though she was telling the truth, I did not like how she was like, "Oh, he don't even cook in our kitchen. Oh, he doing this. Oh, this is what he really doing." I know she was probably speaking truth, but Drew, the guy was trying, and he got it together. And so I just, again, this is why some women, why y'all men be like, "I ain't doing nothing else no more because you ain't appreciate what I did do it." That's kind of what my
Let me tell
thoughts
you
are on
something.
that. Yes, tell
I
me.
personally believe she had that tone because of the way that he acts outside of those spaces.
And he probably does.
Because she knows that he is shucking and jiving
Okay.
for the cameras.
Okay.
An opportunity for her to be seen, for him to be seen, to make look like he's doing well. Because for all we know, he was, getting ready to divorce her right at that moment, or she was on her way to that thought process as well. So no, he gets no love from me.
But
Right.
Candy did say on her speak on it that the confessional that we saw tonight were filmed like present day. So Drew made that comment about Ralph because that confessional is filmed present day.
She kept it funky. That's what she
did. Yeah, she said the earlier confessional looks were done when they first started filming. She said now they're coming in doing confessionals as the show is airing. So Drew's confessional look then was because she filmed it present day.
And thank you so much for saying that, because it really does tout the stark difference between her talking about her husband before and more currently.
Circa episode 2 and episode 1, where they were all giddy and buddy,
right.
and wife and husband and all that good stuff. Yeah, what Drew said was there was so much truth behind it, because she knows who Ralph is, because she knows how he operates. Just as Jennifer said, outside of those cameras and outside of those walls, she knows that he's putting on for the girls, and I understand that Ralph knows what he's supposed to do for a reality show, and he's doing just that. And so you really can't blame him. But Drew's gonna put the truth out there, and that's fair game.
I got a question. Do y'all think Groove Theory Man was embarrassed that didn't nobody recognize him?
Say that again.
Do you think the Groove Theory guy, aka Courtney's baby daddy, do you think he was embarrassed? No, when he first walked in, they didn't know, and they had to say his name. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, I didn't recognize you." Everybody said that.
Unless somebody put up the picture of him in Beauty Shop and him now,
right?
And even those two pictures together, I wouldn't be able to put together that they were the same person. So either way, sir, I'm sure you've done plenty of work in your career, and I'm sure you're very dedicated to your craft. However, I still don't know you.
And why did Courtney bring him when they're not even together?
That's not the first time she done bought him.
Because he's somebody.
Right.
It's better for her to have him than nobody.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay. And also, I don't believe that he felt away. And I'll tell you why. Usually when you look in the mirror, you understand that you don't look like that person that you look like beforehand. Okay.
I'm
years
sure he's
ago.
pretty well aware of his status. Absolutely.
And that's all I'm saying. That is absolutely no shade. That's just being real. I know I don't look like the girl that I looked like 20 years ago. I don't even know that girl. But if you saw me today, you might recognize me. The hair would be totally different.
Girl, let me tell you, I saw a picture on JoJo's Facebook page of you and him when y'all was little, and you had your little pigtails, and you look the same. You look the same.
He does.
I showed it to my husband. He was like, "Oh my God, she hasn't changed a bit." You picked up. I was like, "Yes." So I get what you're saying.
I'll say this for him. The major difference, I've always had a round face. He hasn't. I'll leave that there.
I get it. Since we speaking of faces, Sheree's face look different too. I'm about to put my mic back on mute.
Oh.
Here's the thing. The thing with him is he does look different. Like he looks significantly different.
Yes, he does.
Really doesn't look the same that he did back then. And it's not even just that he doesn't have cornrows. He looks different.
He didn't age well.
No, not at all.
No, I think it's just that he has his grown man weight.
That's
it's in the face too. I think we're not used to seeing that beard and goatee.
It's mostly in the face. He had a goatee in Beauty Shop.
I think he was clean shaven, Jennifer.
He was clean shaven. I think he had like the mustache and the beard maybe, but it wasn't the connecting beard.
He got a full beard right now, right?
Here's my whole point. Courtney feels as though she needs a somebody to be around her to be on the show, then that lets me know she has very little thoughts about herself. Because
Right.
Courtney, you are on the show. You do not need to bring somebody just because somebody said, "Oh, that's who your baby daddy is." That lets me know that you are still living in his spotlight, in
But I
his
think
shadow.
She do need him because she's supposed to be a crisis manager. All these crises that they done had on this show, and she wasn't able to manage none of one or two of them. She created of her own.
She did, because
Okay.
when Kenya told her, Kenya said, "I don't need you touching me. I don't need you to continue to touch me," when they were at the table. Kenya's like, listen, and I was glad that Drew said she just wants to know that, she protecting her space or something like that.
And Courtney
And
obviously has an issue with getting into people's personal space. She got into Candy's space in episode number 1 and
In the
would not
beginning.
let it go at all. So this seems to be a running theme with Courtney. So
and
someone
Courtney has to
really
realize she did. We saw it on camera. You touched her a couple of times. I do that. I'm a touchy person. I'm a touchy feely person. But Courtney want to sit there and say, "I didn't touch you," and Kenya was like, "Yeah, you did." And Kenya, she was being shady. She just was mad about the conversation. But Kenya had every right to say, "Listen, don't touch me no more. Don't touch me no more."
She did.
But
And can we also get into, I know I just want to move on real quick because we're already 25 minutes into this thing.
oh yeah,
The fact that Marlo wants to put so much weight behind the fact that she went on a date with Roy before Kenya even met him. And she's going to say in her confessional that, "I don't know why Kenya's so upset about the fact that I dated Roy before her. And, he just wasn't my type." And Kenya don't care. Kenya does not have an F to give about you dating Roy, Marlo. And I hope Marlo sees that on the show when it runs back.
let me tell you what I thought about that. I was real happy that Marlo did pull out her real receipts, because Kenya had blank receipts when she pulled out her.
We have to be specific with those receipts, though. They went away because the man deleted them.
Exactly. That wasn't Kenya's fault.
But I was glad that Marlo showed her real receipt, and he did say he liked her outfit. Now, when she showed me that, and then I thought, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, I'm like, okay, you inboxed her. Then when Marlo said she went on a date with him, I was like, then now he's going on a date with Kenya. That lets me know, were you bouncing around until you found one of these housewives that you could get in with? Now I'm kind of thinking, okay, Marlo, I'm concerned. Is he really?
Mayetta hooked them up. Mayetta hooked Roy and Kenya up. Roy didn't even know Kenya. Kenya didn't know Roy. They hooked him up. So that's why next week we're gonna see Mayetta getting so upset because Roy is her friend.
Okay, because I was like, was he bouncing around going to each one of these inboxes? Thank you for clearing that up, Latoya.
But that is a good point that you bring up, Regina, because I think it does speak to what his intentions may be with Kenya, since I do believe Kenya is somewhat of the star of the show. I won't say she's definitively the star of the show. That's just something that's left up to anybody's perspective or opinion. But
maybe like JoJo said, it could have been maybe he inboxed Mayetta and say, "Hey, hook me up with your girl Kenya," because he was trying. I mean, he did go on a date with Marlo. So
let me tell you what happened on that date. Roy picked up on that host spirit, and he didn't want to deal with that host spirit. So he had to go to somebody that had a little bit more class about themselves and know how to act in public.
Say that.
That is a businessman. That man got restaurants and he traveling the countries and stuff. He can't have no ghetto stealing Marlo, go in a hotel and they find out he done added an extra $2,000 onto the bill because she done took these folks shot bottles out the big fridge.
Right. Like if we were to ask just any old random heterosexual man on the street, would you rather have Kenya or Marlo? Just based off of their personality and how they present themselves on TV. Although they can be somewhat similar, I'm sure the majority of the men would pick Kenya because she's got at least some sense about her.
Oh Lord, y'all is a mess. Well, Marlo did show up with her man at the little get together. She showed up with her man, and and I was glad that he was there. But
he didn't seem out of place either. I like the fact that he really did fit in with the other guys. He was open about his experiences with Marlo so far. I thought he fit in very well.
I thought he fit in really good
Now,
too.
I remember they talked about the difference between the situation where Kenya got upset with the Martell situation,
Mhm.
Yes.
and the other thing. I'm not saying it's not the same because it is pretty much the same,
Yeah.
but I think there is a slight difference because we know that Martell has a history of being
Right.
that dude.
Because when we
Right.
And
know who you are, we know what your intentions more than likely are. We
we
know
got to
who you
speak up.
are. Child,
Yeah.
But then
there needs
it
to be
was
some
like,
words spoken.
we do have to remember, Sheree isn't that slow. I'm sure she understands what the moment was. I wouldn't even been trying to warn her about anything because I know she isn't, infested in that man.
Yeah.
And
The
then
only
Right.
Kenya also said that she didn't tell her at first because they weren't together. Like they were just friends. They was just kicking it. It wasn't until Sheree told Kenya that they were together in a relationship. That's when she told her about the text message.
Mm.
what about Kenya making fun of Marlo's man's outfit? Do y'all think she should have done that? That was like Kenya. You
I didn't
being
understand where Kenya was coming from with that. I didn't see anything wrong with
I
his
didn't see
outfit.
nothing
I
wrong
mean,
with
there
this
was
guy's outfit.
nothing blaringly like, why are you wearing that? No, it was a nice shirt. I don't get what Kenya was trying to do.
That's
But
a
I
that's a
think
moment.
it was more geared towards Marlo than it was Scott Lee himself.
Yeah, I want to say this also, a really nice scene that I loved on this show. I think it was probably one of my favorite on this show. This scene, Todd outside talking to Ralph, and he says, "Hey, this is a long way from Jersey," and he's like, "This is a blessing." I love that Todd pointed that out because people have to understand you get this great wealth, you get these nice things, and all of this, you're in a better place financially. You do have to remember that it is a blessing to be in these positions and to have these possessions. Not that they make the man or anything, but I'm glad that Todd had just that 1 minute, whatever second conversation. That to me meant the world to me through this whole thing. So I just love that. And I love that they had those conversations. All right.
Yes,
So
that was a beautiful scene.
I love it.
It's still a mystery what Ralph does to be able to afford that
Yes,
beautiful home, but it is what it is.
it is.
Candy
Now,
said, I'll speak on it. He's a consultant. And Oliver asked her what kind of consultant. And Candy couldn't say anything because nobody really knows what kind of consultant. He's supposed to be a consultant for Fortune 500 companies.
okay.
Jennifer, can you Google consultant for us to give us the Webster's
But
dictionary
the
definition?
problem is that word or title is so broad.
Right.
Right.
I feel like I'm a consultant as well
It's
because
so broad and vague.
I consult with my fellow members here about what we're going to be talking about and things of that nature. We be having meetings, so I consult with them. It's not giving me checks with an S. You know what I'm saying?
But
You
there
know what I'm
are
saying?
there are real business ventures out there that do business consulting firms. They consult firms. So I don't know. I'm not saying that's what he does, but there are some, and you can make a lot of money being a business consultant with major corporations. You can make a lot of money.
I have a
Aaron,
question.
okay, hold on. Aaron said, I just want to say how tough is Candy? Sick on the plane and still looks fantastic and in for everything. Just saying, Candy is the queen.
My heart hurt for her.
For
Yes,
I
real.
can't
yes.
imagine being on a
Eight
And
plane.
hours.
she explained it in detail on Speak On. I was like, oh my God, in that little bathroom for 2 hours?
Mm-mm,
I thought it was eight.
mm-mm.
How long was that flight? 8 hours? 2 hours? How long was
Eight
that flight?
hours.
8 hours.
8 hours to Portugal.
8 hours. Yeah, Candy is the real star. Yeah, go ahead, Latoya.
Um,
What were you saying?
so Drew's sister said again last night, thank you for letting me stay with y'all. So I think she's living with him.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Okay. Well, TD says this. He said, answer from the Straight Man Society. Upon further review, Kenya would get the nod because she is more manageable.
Mm. Makes
Okay,
sense.
from the Straight Man.
Thank you, straight man.
Yes.
Thank you from the Straight Man Review. Robin says, I am a consultant too. All of us get your consultant badges out. We're all consultants.
Okay.
We're all consultants.
We all sounded like George Santos up in this mug.
Yes, Jonathan.
That is correct.
Yes, you're a consultant. You're a consultant. Everybody's a consultant.
You get a consultant badge. You get a consultant badge. Now let's all get the bag. So TD says, hi, back in the shadows with my bag of snacks. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's finish out Housewives of Atlanta and then go over to these other two real quick. The lady, Candy had food poisoning, felt bad for her. Sorry she felt that way. They didn't say if she got food poisoning from Drew's house or if she had ate somewhere else. They never say it.
It wasn't food poisoning. She had back then, when that 24-hour really bad stomach virus was going around.
Oh, okay.
That's what she said she had.
Good, I'm glad. The ladies go to Portugal. Ralph is in Vegas, allegedly on a business trip to try and be a male alleged stripper.
Child, excuse me.
Is that what Drew was actually saying though? Like,
ain't no magic in that mic. Ain't no magic in that mic. That mic needs to go sit down.
Wait a minute now, Latoya. Hold on now.
I'm saying ain't no magic in that mic because you're still technically married. I need you to put the magic in the mic once you sign the divorce paper.
No, there's a lot of dancers that are married that are up
Absolutely.
There are.
It's called
but we talking about Wreck-It Ralph.
It's called
Light of the Leo. Go ahead, and then I'm gonna come up to Jonathan. Go ahead, Light of the Leo.
So what I remember Drew saying was that he was going to be auditioning,
right,
to be a part of it.
Chocolate City, I think is what they called it.
With the amount of consulting jobs that he has, I'm trying to figure out how he has time to audition to be a part of the Black Mike whatever situation. What's going on? I mean, it don't add up to me. And personally, my consultant fee.
All right.
I mean, he's consulting. He consulting.
All right, JoJo, your thoughts?
I'd like to see it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he got body. He's a very nice looking man. I mean, show me what you got, mister.
Let me tell y'all, I am not this one that loves these kind of shows. I'm that's just not my thing. To me, I'm like, you sweaty and you but you have to have a nice body and a cute face and extra stuff to be on these shows. So
and to be able to dance.
He's got a nice body and he's got a cute face.
Yes.
He works out. So I'm not mad.
He fits the bill.
But can he dance? Can he dance?
We gonna see.
I don't know.
None of that would matter to me.
Will see.
No, if he in Vegas, is he gonna have a show? Do I need to take a trip to Vegas next year?
Look, fun facts. Chocolate City, because it was a movie. It was two of them actually. But the Chocolate City is based off of the Christian Keys. He's doing All the Queen's Men. Mm-hmm. That is based off of his book, Ladies' Night. So okay. Chocolate City is a male version of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I love it. All right. So we're going to end this with Africa, because if you've never been to Africa, you may have never been to South Africa.
Right. And she was so serious about that. Like, do you think this quote was worse than Mia saying that she was bi-coastal going from Potomac to North Carolina?
I got one better for you, Jonathan. Was this one worse than Portia and the Underground Railroad?
Oh, well, I think Portia and the Underground Railroad is the ultimate. Like, that's just the worst of the worst.
She said, "Hi, get out of here."
So there has to be a track of some sort.
Where the train at? Where the teacher? Okay,
because this ain't big enough for a train. I don't.
the space is so small.
How did they do that?
That's when Phaedra coined the phrase "fix it, Jesus."
Right.
Thank you, Phaedra. Thank you. So, Welcome to Crappie Lake is another show. Did you guys watch Welcome to Crappie Lake? Did you guys get a chance to watch it?
Regina, I attempted. I definitely did.
Wait, Regina, how you gonna skip over the whole dinner scene?
Huh?
Oh yeah.
How you skip over the whole dinner scene?
Oh, because it's 7:40. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Anything y'all wanted to say about the dinner scene of the Atlantas?
I don't watch Crappie Lake, so don't ask me about Crappie Lake. I don't know what's going on. Y'all come back and holler at me when we get to Detroit.
Okay. Oh, Crappie Lake. Listen, it's a cute show, and I understand Jonathan. Jonathan's like, Go ahead, Jonathan. You tried,
Well,
right? You
I
tried.
think I might be more susceptible to it if I was into Real Housewives of New York and I knew
Yes.
Luann and Sonia like that. Because I'm
Mhm.
not really that familiar with them, and because I love The Simple Life so much, and because this is just kind of a bootleg version of it, and the fact that they're like, "Oh, where's our concierge?" and I'm going to bring this bag, and I'm just like, you know what you signed up for. You know how you're going to look in this setting. You know that these
Oh my
people really
goodness.
don't want you in their town to begin with. We don't
Right.
want you bringing your bougie stuff here. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't fit where we are. But I'm sure it's entertaining for some, but it's just
It is.
not
It's
for
entertaining for
me.
me because, like you said, Jonathan, great point. I do watch and have watched Real Housewives of New York,
Hmm.
and I do love Luann and Sonia Morgan together. It's just so funny to me because I'm still basing it off of their lives in New York, and now you're in this country area. So to me, it's a hoot. It's hilarious. I'm like Andy Cohen. I love it.
I will
Um,
say it is interesting that they went catfishing and they were fishing
yes,
with their hands. I've
yes,
never heard of fishing with your hands because I
and
feel
that's a
like
real
fish
thing.
just swim too fast for you to be able to catch one with your hands.
You
That's
got to
I've never
put,
heard
they
of
get in
that.
holes. They burrow holes. The fish
Mm-hmm.
burrow holes under the water, and then you've got to put your hand in there and fill, and then they actually like bite down on you, but not penetrate your skin. And then you
Okay.
come out. And I was glad that Luann did that, and Sonia Morgan's in there. She's like, "Do it. Is this like basically is this a catfish or is this Sonia is a hoot. Listen, if y'all want to laugh, do like Jonathan said. If you're not familiar with Luann and Sonia Morgan, it may hit you different when you watch the show. But if you were fans of Real Housewives of New York and you are a fan of Luann de Lesseps and Sonia Morgan, you want to check out their new show. Now, one thing I did not like that they went to the little club, which was nice, but then Sonia decided, oh, this guy is cute. Let me go to his room. Sonia, enough. You can't take everybody to your room. Sonia, that part I was like, oh, Lord, here we go. All right. So let's roll on over. You remember, y'all can check out Welcome to Crappie Lake as well. Let's go on over to Love and Marriage Detroit. Ciao. Love and Marriage Detroit.
Now I haven't watched the show, but my mother gave me sort of a synopsis. So
Mhm,
can we start with this couple, this husband who's looking into get into ministry, and his
mhm,
wife who is not
mhm.
really here for it? Do we not have these types of discussions, at the beginning of our relationship as to where we see our life going in the
Ooh,
future? And do
child.
we not make these decisions? Tell her mother, don't tell her, but tell her mother and her father, and now you're leaving her out in the cold, and now where's the communication in this relationship? That don't make too much bit of sense to me. I don't understand that.
Well, I'm gonna come down the light of the Leo and then over to Latoya on that response. But let me get this comment. Aaron says, I watch Crappie Lake. Next time I will call in for just Crappie Lake, Regina. I love Crappie Lake. Thank you, Aaron, because I love it too. We might just have just a show, Aaron, me and you, when you're off or something. We just do a Crappie Lake show because that to me is funny. So light of the Leo, he's talking about the Harrises, Russell and Kobe. What's your thoughts on what he just said about the gentleman? Now, I think from when I'm watching the show, they got married, but I don't think prior to the marriage he ever said that he wanted to be a minister. This happened after the marriage. He decided to become a minister, and did this theology school and stuff like this, and went and enrolled in theology school, and has been enrolled for 3 weeks before telling his wife, "I'm enrolled in theology school, and I got your father's blessing," because her father is a minister.
Hmm.
So the daddy and the husband holding these secrets from the wife.
Right.
Go ahead, Light.
As soon as I heard that part, I felt anger arise in my heart. So Jonathan spoke about where is the communication. No, he decided to do what he wanted to do. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah,
And for all and oh gosh, and him knowing who her father is, which is a
yeah.
minister, sounds
Mm-hmm.
like he made sure to get married for her for that reason.
Mm.
Ooh,
And
ooh.
there's it sounds like, just going even further, it sounds like there has been conversation of her not wanting to be a preacher's wife.
She doesn't want to be a preacher's
He
wife.
doesn't.
And for someone to really say that out loud, more than likely it was said before they even got married, but he said,
Right.
I just. And then for him to be enrolled in theology school 3 weeks before he even told her, you might as well be cheating on me. No,
Right.
no, no,
Hmm.
no,
He
no,
was
no,
cheating. He was cheating
no.
because he's out there. Where was he at? Again, like we said on the show previous, You out here in this classes for 3 weeks. Where did you tell your wife you was going?
And
TD
he
said,
told her parents before he told her. What kind of
yes,
sense does that make?
yes.
What kind of sense does that make, really?
TD said this. He said, why is he really getting into ministry? He said God called him into ministry. He said God called him into ministry.
When did that
And
phone call occur?
Right,
oh,
because this is feeling like me, like to me. This is feeling to me like a spur of the moment type of thing. This doesn't seem to me like a lifetime decision type of thing.
A way to make some money. And if this call, call, because I don't believe Jesus called on that main line to let him know that. Okay. That's how I feel it. That's how I believe. That's my opinion.
yeah,
And that's okay. But it just makes me think about the conversations that Pastor Lorenzo has had on our Thursday night shows here. So many preachers saying that I was called and only able to say that simply because nobody else can hear the call but you.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Made me
uh-oh.
think about John Smith and the whole Mormon religion. He was
Ooh,
the only one to see those tablets. You know what I'm saying? So here's
ooh.
my thing. For you to get married to a woman, and it seems like the only reason why you got married to her is because her status and her father, and then go forward into doing whatever you wanted to do, knowing that, because I believe they've had these conversations before they even got married that she doesn't want to. That's why
Right.
Yes,
that's
yes.
why he
Didn't
did it
tell her.
behind her back.
Mm-hmm,
Exactly.
mm-hmm.
It made me want to start swinging.
I mean, doesn't
That's
it seem like he's looking more for the approval of her parents than he is of her? It's like, why did you really marry this woman? Like,
mhm.
is she just collateral damage in what your bigger plan is to get into her family? Like, I'm not understanding what this relationship
He
is
wanted
coming
to use
from.
the clout to make
Mm,
money from church. That's what
yeah,
it is.
Ooh. Well,
that's what it
Robin
sounds
said
like.
these relationships are problematic. But let me get to this comment, then I'm coming over to Latoya. TD said, sounds like someone is trying to keep the church under family control.
Mm,
Ooh, wow. And Robin said it sounds like a reality TV storyline.
it
Well,
does.
listen, she had a conversation with her parents also, and she was like, this is not what I want. But not only did he do that behind her back, he went
Hmm.
and looked at this gym to purchase and says he wants to purchase a gym. He also wants to become a pastor all at the same time. And he went to look at this gym, and then he told his wife about it. And the wife was like, why didn't you tell me about this? Why? She wants to be included in everything. And he feels like,
Hmm.
well, I just went to go take a look at it. Why do I need to include you in that? I just looked at it. And she said, well, I wanted to look at it too.
But see,
It's
that's
Yeah,
the difference between a wife and somebody that's your girlfriend.
right.
How
They're clearly not partners in this thing called
no.
a marriage. They're
really
clearly
And
not.
not
here's
partners.
another question. Are we sure that it's just only his money that's going into these things, or is it their money?
Mm,
Because theology school costs money. Purchasing a gym costs money. Are we doing this together? I,
Yeah.
I'm upset and I don't even know these people.
Go ahead, Latoya. Oh my goodness.
Well, he did tell her. I mean, she did tell him before they got married. He knew all of this. He knew what he was doing. It was a whole manipulation game. He wanted
Ooh,
to do this. He knew if he went to her first, she would say no. So he went to her parents, the two people that he knew could convince her to do it and go along with it.
bad.
And it's sad because you could lose your wife for this because she's already told you she doesn't want to do this. Even though now he's saying he doesn't want to be a preacher, he just wants to be a chaplain. And she was like, okay, well, what if God calls you to become a preacher? Then what? I told you I don't want to do that.
Yeah. And she's not wanting to do it because she has seen what the effects is it had on her father and mother, especially.
Hmm.
Right. And it makes me wonder if her dad is encouraging the whole don't tell her till after you've already done it.
And,
Well, not only that, mama allegedly knew too and didn't tell her.
and let me tell you something.
Hmm.
You know when you get married, a lot of times you marry your father.
Oh,
Her
say
parents been
that.
lying. Her parents been lying to her, and she married a
Amen.
man that had
Amen.
no problem to
Amen.
do the same thing to her. Woo,
wow.
Lord,
A lot, a lot.
ain't no
Well,
holiness in that.
they got some stuff they need to work out. But let's jump over here real quick to the Smiths, Brandon and Christina. Brandon, after they
I'm
had
so sick of honey bun. I'm so sick of honey bun. I'm so sick of honey bun.
What is honey bun? The husband, Brandon?
Yes,
The honey bun because he got the bun on his head?
yes.
And not with you with this guy. Well, he decided he was gonna stay out. He got mad at when they had that little dinner, the wine thing, and he got mad. They had an argument, and he decided not to come home. He decided to go to their getaway, the condo, apartment, whatever, and stay there since that event happened, which was a few days.
How childish is that? How childish and immature is that for a little boy to just go run away to his little hideout because he doesn't want to deal with his issues? Child.
Thank you, Jonathan. Very well said. And not only did he run away, but he left her with the baby. You didn't pick up the baby and say, let me take the baby over here while I go away for these 3-4 days or whatever days that you went away with. But here's my other thing about this in relationship. This is why husband and wives, y'all watch our Happy Marriage series here on the Juice Radio Talk Show also. This is why y'all need to be very careful before y'all go and get these getaway spots.
Come on.
Okay. Understand what the use of them is for. What you need this extra condo for, huh?
You can still drive home in less than an hour.
No, what do we need this new condo for? What do we need it for? What are we going to use it for?
The same thing that Derek Jackson's wife should have been asking and showing up and popping up at.
Y'all better be careful with these getaways. And he done got to the getaway and staying at the getaway for a few days. So they decided, she decided, okay, let's talk to the mentors, the marriage mentors. And even the mentors were shocked when they heard, you've been gone for how long? Because y'all had a disagreement?
And I wonder how many times before this that he has done this thing.
Come on.
And how often has she taken him back? How often has she forgiven him?
Several. That's why they're in the situation right now. That's why he lies to her about his artists and stuff because of past behavior.
Let me tell you something, Jonathan. I wish you would marry some African American doing stuff like that. I'd swing before you. I'd have Tyrone with me. I'd be swinging. Oh my gosh. I feel so upset. Oh, I'm going in. Okay. Catching each
and I'm right behind you. Because you ain't got to tag me in. As soon as you swing, I'm swinging too.
What kind of foolishness? See, this is some craziness. And these are the kind of moments where I feel like, I don't know if people would be able to take somebody like me and Tyrone on a reality show, because I think maybe we make too much sense. I don't know. Maybe we, talk too much.
The foolishness seems to prevail in these reality TV shows, and these women who present themselves as so weak, we can't even feel sorry for them. We can't even have any empathy for them because they know better.
Y'all ain't doing the work. And it's just this communication thing. I wouldn't dare getting on nobody's reality TV shows without Tyrone know everything that's going on and vice versa. So when somebody comes to me about something, I'd be like, I know. Yeah.
Like if somebody has a conversation with my friend off camera or on camera before they have that conversation with me, there's an issue.
Yeah.
There is an issue.
This is what you get when you marry somebody in 6 months.
But there are some good relationships that are married and strong that's been in less than 6 months. But the difference is that there is communication, number one, and we're not lying to each other.
The foundation of those relationships are strong, and that's why they're able to last so long, because they know the fundamentals of a good relationship. And so that's the issue. You can have someone who's a couple who's been married for 20 years, didn't get engaged until after a year of dating, and they still don't have it figured out. So, it really depends on the people.
Here's the thing that I got from this whole thing. First, he sit down at the table. He come in, he's sitting down at the table, and then he's sitting there and he pouting, and she's like, oh, if they have the conversation, they're like, okay, can we do this? And he's like, okay. And that look right there. Now I'm a, what do you call it? I can read your body. Okay. That body language is real.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When he did that, I was like, this little boy, like Jonathan said, this little boy done got away with this again. He done got away with it. He done left for 3-4 days, however many days. And now she gonna sit there at the table and just say, okay, can we work on this? He didn't go in punishment. He didn't get no repercussions for what he did. He didn't get nothing. He just said, okay, I'm pouting. I'm pouting because I'm this little boy, but I'm also inside glad that I just got away with the 3-4 days or whatever.
It
Because
makes
Clovis
me
would have had to sit in the corner
come on
somewhere. He had to sleep in the guest room or something. He'd have had
somewhere.
to make sure he had some nice gift for me to open that door because when he got back, them locks would have probably been changed.
Okay.
Go in.
First of all, we would have never got married to begin with. But this is a prime example
Just
of
a
people will
repercussion,
only
something.
treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. If she had put up her front, if she had set her boundaries and let him know the business beforehand, he would not have been able to get away with it the first time.
Now, I'm not saying that their marriage should have been broken up. Now,
no,
like
no,
I
no.
said, I would have changed the locks on my house. Clovis could have called me, and we'd have had a conversation. And I'd have told him this is why I did it, and he probably would not have had a key for 3 days. But I would still let him in. But if he would go out and come in, he was gonna have to go with me. But I'm not saying their marriage will break up. But I'm saying what are the things? How many times he's gotten away with stuff, and what has been the repercussions of it? What has he paid? What prices have he paid to get back
None.
in?
It didn't start with his wife. It started with his mother. That
Of course.
it goes to the beginning. Once again, we always have to remember it may not always be true with everybody, but you can always see the pathology. Thank you so much, Iana Van Zandt.
Okay.
We can see the pathology. More than likely, if you get introduced to his mother in that show, you will find out exactly where it came from.
Okay. And her, I know she's probably wanting to not go into all the mess or whatever. She probably at that time had 3 days, and I'm just alleging it's 3 days. I forget how many days. She probably just like, okay, I just want to work this out and and talk to the mentors. I'm glad that she did the right thing. She reached out to somebody neutral.
Right.
That is a very good move on her part. Excellent move. Let me reach out to somebody. She didn't reach out to her mama, her daddy, her sister, her brother. The friends that was there, she didn't reach out to none of them. She reached out to a neutral couple. I love that it was a man and a woman on that call. Great thing. And they kind of held them accountable a little bit. But
you see, she knows the right things to do, but she doesn't follow through. And that's the issue. When you're not following through, whenever there's an intervention, there are borderlines. There are things that will get you get me out of your life if you do not go to this thing. And she has not set those boundaries at all.
Even Anthony was like, "You where? You did what?" And he was like, "Man, you got to go get your queen."
What kind of relationship is that? You don't know where your man
do they
at.
have children?
Yes.
Now see, my heart.
I believe she has a baby. Allegedly she has a baby.
I pray that she gets on that child early on, because that child going to run over her just like her husband do.
TD said this is giving me John Grayish vibes. What else he hiding?
Okay.
Child, just don't come up with that white underwear and a white t-shirt. Look. Light of the Leo, y'all over here selling candy. I want a Snickers bar, TD said that sounds like Derek Jackson running to get his getaway spot. Right. I don't understand his getaway spots. I don't understand that. All right, so let's go over to the Thompsons, Anthony and LaToya. The episode started out. Anthony was having a conversation with his wife and 2 others. I forget, I don't know if they're friends or what, but he was having a conversation with them. And Anthony broke down and really had a boohoo moment cry where he said, I just want somebody on my side. I want somebody to support me. I want somebody to support me. This is a time where I miss my grandmama, because my grandmama was the only one that will support me. Why can't nobody support me? Now, I took that two ways. I took that as, wait a minute, you don't want to be held accountable for what your wife is really trying to tell you, and you want the attention off of the accountability part and on to your tears. That's one part that I caught, Anthony. I'm sorry, Anthony, but this is just what I saw. And the other part, I understand you feel as though you're not thriving and moving as fast as you want to, and you feel like the people are not supporting you in the way that you want them to support you. But Anthony, that does not mean that your wife is to blame. That's just my thought. Go ahead, Light of the Leo, and then up to Jonathan and over to LaToya.
Okay, I just want to make sure y'all know I'm talking so wholeheartedly about this, but I have never seen this show. What I can say, what I can say about this, when people are being faced with conversation that needs to be had, and the first place you go to is that I need support.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start talking about somebody that has gone on to glory that used to support you. Of course, your grandma supported you in everything that you did, whether it be right or wrong. He didn't talk about parents. Does he have parents? Is his parents alive and in his life?
He didn't mention his parents. He mentioned his grandmother. I
Because
don't
it
know.
sounds like his parents might be over his foolishness, but grandma
Right.
was the only one that
Who put
would,
up with it?
would be right behind him no matter
Mm-hmm.
what.
Mhm.
I really have a disdain, unfortunately, for men that like that. Or to be honest, anybody like that. Because if you cannot stand in your mess, or if you can't stand in who you are and what you've been doing, and just deal with it, then I question your adulthood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Gladys. She said, I'm loving your conversation. Thank you,
Thank
Gladys.
Thank
you.
Go
you.
ahead, Jojo, and then over to Latoya.
This to me is sounding like a derivative of Silas. How Silas was wanting to have acknowledgement from
Oh, sure.
Jasmine for certain things, and he just wants he just wants the attention. He wants it all to be on him, and he is the sad little boy who doesn't have any support, and woe is me, and all that good stuff. Like, people don't respond positively to those type of people, because you're either going to get sympathy, or you're going to get or you're going to get angst from that. You're going to get one of the two. And I'm
Mhm.
giving angst to that because I don't have time to hear it. I don't
Wow.
I don't care, sir. I really don't.
Mhm. That's right. Gladys says, Amen, Jojo. All right, Toya, what's your thoughts on this?
No, his parents passed away, and
Okay.
so that's why he said her parents are like his parents. They really close with him also. When he was doing all that, to me, it was like the little boy inside of him was crying out. And
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
it's like something went on in his childhood that has not healed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, something in his wife triggered that. And it seems like maybe since she's a doctor, maybe he played in the background a lot. And now he's
Mm-hmm.
finally able to fulfill his dream. And it's like she's holding him back. So he has like a little resentment. That's what I got from it.
But I
You
don't even
mean
Hmm.
you
think she's
mean by
holding him back. I don't think she's holding him back. I think what she was saying is, yes, you can have your career, but you can't let your career make you forget you have a family and child that's in a whole nother state. Family and children.
Right. And
mm,
I get that. But when he hears that, that's probably what he hears. Is
Hmm.
that I'm
right.
finally doing something for me, and now you want to hold me back. That's what he's hearing when she's saying it.
And it's funny for someone in a marriage to say, I'm doing something for me. Although that, I think it is important that you do things for yourself, but you
Absolutely.
still have to consider your partner in every single one
Absolutely.
of your decisions. And
Hmm.
you have to consider them because they will be affected by your decisions or by anything
Yeah.
that you do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So again, we understand that you want to branch out, but once again, you have to consider your wife and your children.
Yes, yes, he does. And I think that I can agree with Latoya where she said there's something in his past. Maybe he feels like he was not supported or did not have the support. I can gather that too. But what I keep saying is he's blaming his wife. And
Mhm.
it's
Mm.
not his wife's fault. His wife is like, listen, I'm not trying to stop your career. I'm just letting you know that your boys needed you here. And one of the scenes she said, you have two little black boys that are going to schools and being bullied because of their color. They need their dad.
Oh.
She says, I can't be the one that go there and say that better than their father can, protect.
Right.
Hmm.
And she's right. And I
She's
understand he
like,
wants to have his career. But you also are the same man,
Uh-huh.
Anthony, that said when they had the conversation about, I don't have to ask my wife that I'm leaving. I just tell her that I'm leaving. You were that
Mm,
same man, Anthony. And that's probably why your wife has an issue with you up and going and
hmm
not having this conversation with your wife prior so that you can make arrangements for the day-to-day life of these children and the household while you are gone.
so
And it doesn't
interesting
not
that
have
all
to
through.
be it doesn't have to be a ask. It's a conversation so we can
It's a
come
conversation.
together, so we can
Mhm.
understand what you're doing. I can be of understanding, especially if we got kids out here. Like, what are we doing?
That's right.
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 He's
It's
he's
so
he's
interesting.
projecting that unhealed trauma onto her. Like I don't
Right.
know if it was his mom, I don't know if it's his grandma who or whomever, but you're projecting it at the wrong person. You
That's my
got to go get help and heal that because your wife is not the problem.
And he
Right. And
may feel resentment because the wife does have all these businesses and is a doctor and is the breadwinner in the family, and it acknowledges it on the own network description. She is the breadwinner. Go
Oh,
ahead,
right.
Jonathan.
right. And I find it so interesting that all three of these men have this thing in common. And it's just so interesting. And if we go back to what Portia said in the limo on her first season about the girls going to a strip club, and she was saying that Cordell would not let her go to a strip club. We really have to choose our words wisely when we're
Yes.
talking
Yes.
about our relationships, because as Jennifer said, it has to be a conversation, not a you allow me to do this, I allow you to do that. No, we have a conversation as to whether we're comfortable with one another doing these things, so that it doesn't come out as something else, or doesn't have the effects or looks of something else.
Now, here's another thing that he's doing, Anthony. He has this great mentorship program that he's trying to start with young men in the area and young boys, where he's trying to teach them manlyhood and stuff like that in different arenas. It's supposed to be a really good thing, but my fear is he needs some healing himself and some real counsel as far as a man's role, woman's role, and that kind of thing before he goes out and mentors other boys. That is a big, and it's a great project that he wants to do. He has a great idea, concept. However, I think, Anthony, you need to have some counseling. Yes, Light of the Leo. TD said, where is the accountability? Yes, Light of Leo.
It's not just about him getting himself together. Is it okay if he starts with his own house?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Would he be qualified to do something of this nature? Like, do you have the credentials to be able to help others when you seemingly are not able to help yourself, my good sir?
But it is wonderful that he has a desire to help others,
It's
but he
amazing.
needs to start here.
Yes.
Right,
Right.
right. TD said, why doesn't he see the absentee aspect of his actions? I don't know why he doesn't see that part. And the importance of the father, even when, listen, there are a lot of fathers that go out of town, but they're still in their children's lives as though they were there.
Right.
Hmm.
So, he could fix that. And for the wife to bring that up, there is something that was a disconnect for her to think that's very important to bring that up. And it's very important that she brings that up. Tyrone says, so you can mentor, but you are absent from your own children. Ooh.
I'm
You
just
better come
saying.
on from a male point of view. You better come on with it. Robin, I see your comment. I'm not covering that story. I have commented on other people's channels, but I'm not bringing that one on my platform. I thought it was kind of suspicious from day one, and I'm just not going to run that one. But you guys can go to other people's channel to
More than
run.
likely, she accidentally put the wrong chat in the wrong. Wait, she
Yeah,
put the comment in the wrong chat. That's usually what happens. It's not her first time.
yeah, but just in case, if she wanted us to know that. All right, so you guys, this has been great. Listen, Love and Marriage, Detroit is on and popping.
Y'all
Y'all want
gonna
to
make
see
me find it.
Okay. Sounds much better than Huntsville already.
Yes,
Regina,
it is. Yes, Latoya.
you leaving off a big part of this show too, the skating ring scene.
Oh yes. Go ahead, Latoya. Intro that, because listen, both of these girls. Let me set the scene for y'all. Christina is a really huge influencer, and Colby is also an influencer, but not as huge as Christina. So they've been trying to say they wanted to do some collaboration. So Colby got a phone call, and I don't know if she reached out to them or they reached out to her. These people that want this project done, and find out that Christina is a part of it. So Christina is under the allegations that feels as though Colby was trying to come on to a program that she was doing, and she felt kind of, sideways about it. And so all the couples met up at the skating rink because Anthony wanted the couples to go out and have a nice time. And so they all met up. And while they were at this skating rink, child, Christina and Colby
Now
went.
Regina's leaving out a part of it.
Go ahead.
Christina didn't have these feelings until Brandon put them in her head, and Brandon put them in her head because he's
Yeah.
salty with Kobe because she brought up about him having a new artist and his wife didn't know anything about it. So instead of him taking accountability that he didn't tell his wife, he's blaming Kobe for bringing it up. So he's still salty with her. So he put all of this in Christina's head. So now she's looking at Kobe sideways for no reason. And Kobe checked her on it and she picked up on it. And Brandon tried to come for Kobe, and what's Kobe's husband's name?
Russell
was Russell told him, don't say nothing else to my wife. Period. And don't say nothing else to my wife.
And you're right, Latoya's right, because there was a scene on episode prior where Kobe was defending Christina because they're friends, and she was defending Christina because she was like, Brandon, you're the one that did that. Don't get mad because she knows now. You should have been the one to tell her. It shouldn't be coming from somebody else. So now Brandon, that little boy attitude again, he mad at Kobe, and now he want his wife not to have no dealings with Kobe. So he trying to make everything is like, okay, Kobe ain't no good. Kobe just trying to come up on your shine. Kobe just trying to be big like you. Kobe just trying to steal your ideas. He's trying to quote have them to separate. Because he know Kobe ain't gonna keep her mouth closed, even though Russell keeps saying that's not our business. That's not our business. But Kobe like, no. So it's a mess. It's a mess. I don't think that Brandon should be trying to break up the friendship and trying to put this demise between the two of them and put all this mess into their head. Christina did keep saying that's my friend, but now when they had this fight at the thing, it kind of makes me think that that Brandon did get in Christina's head. What you think, Latoya?
He did, because when Kobe kept asking her, well, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me and tell me? You didn't pick up. She was like, I was confused by your message. She said, okay, if you was confused about the message, why didn't you just pick up the phone and call me? She could never explain that. She could never answer the question. So Kobe was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Bet. I get it. So Kobe picked up on it, and then Brandon come in, putting that same salt that he was putting on Christine at home. He putting it there. So Russell checked him, and so we see next week they're going to be at this meeting about this men's program, and Russell told him, if I wasn't saved, I would have broke every bone in your back.
Yeah, the preacher said that, y'all. The upcoming preacher said that, and I ain't mad at him because Peter was part of that clan. All right.
And Russell looked like he could have played in somebody NFL team. And Brandon, Brandon don't the honey bun don't want not now day or Russell.
But let me tell you this from a marriage standpoint. Russell was right because Brandon got in the middle of women conversation that was dealing with the women, and the way he was coming at Christina, he said a name or something, come up Christina or something like that.
He said Kobe Cat.
Right, Kobe Cat, like copycat. He said Kobe Cat. And so that's when Brandon said, wait a minute, this is not what we're doing, because Brandon, that was nasty. So Russell was like,
And this is what happens when you have immature men getting into grown folks' business, okay?
That's it.
What Miss Nene Leak says, stay out of women business.
Okay.
Peter, stay out.
It makes you want to call people the B word. That's what it made me want to do. That's those are the kind of moves that is.
Yeah, okay. But Brandon was wrong because Brandon's still trying to add salt, like Latoya said, to that situation. These girls can get through that, and they could have probably rectified this situation had Brandon not stepped in.
Okay.
They could have probably rectified it if Brandon wasn't filling her head with that. And Kobe has to understand that if there's a business venture that Christina's doing, what Kobe should have done is she should have reached out to Christina first and said, listen, I'm thinking about calling the same company that you're doing this with. If she knew that Christina was doing it, with that influencer, do you mind? Because y'all are friends. So you just don't step on somebody else's stuff. Because
then that's what Kobe told her. Kobe told her, she said, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that you already had a side deal with that person. She said, if I had known that, I wouldn't have brought it up to you. She said, but me being the person that I am, I'm not selfish. If I knew I had a deal with this brand, I would have said, "Hey, I want to bring Christina along."
Mhm.
She said, "But you didn't do that."
No, though I think Kobe knew. Even and if she didn't know, then my apologies. But once she found out, call your girl. And she did say she tried to call her. Christina would still say she was going through all of her stuff, but you got to be real careful with that. These influencers feel as though you got to take over. You don't have to take over. Just be polite and courteous, you know, and learn the arts of maneuvering around these social media streams and stuff like that. Because people will think, they'll get in your head and they'll think like Brandon think, oh, you're just trying to copycat my wife. You're just trying to come up off my
It's
wife.
just not enough direct conversation. That's it.
Right,
It's just not
Right.
enough.
right.
Hey, I saw this going on. What's going on, sis? There's not
Yeah.
enough of that.
But
And
that's
be
what we
okay
need to
with people
do
saying no
as
to you.
that's what we need to do better as African Americans is communicate. We just have
Yeah.
an issue with communication. That's all.
And stop being afraid of the response.
Right, because that's why we
That
don't
part.
bring stuff up because we're too scared of confrontation.
Right. And be okay, like I said, be okay with somebody telling you no.
Right.
Yes.
Be okay with that. Sometimes people are like, what? You're not gonna allow me to do this? You know what? Are we trying to work together? Don't be mad. A no is okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that your thing gonna end or whatever. It's okay. Be okay with that. TD said, makes me wonder, do you not want to be a father or are you looking for fam and validation, sir? Talking about Anthony. Anthony's got some work to do. And he also said, Jennifer, he said the B word is a biscuit.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Yes.
A biscuit. Well, you guys, this has been great. I'm learning a lot from these couples here, and they each have their own things that they're going through. I don't think we've heard Latoya, who's Anthony's wife. I don't think we really heard her loud and clear. Oh, one other thing, real quick. Anthony and Latoya went to church. They actually went to church at Latoya's parents' church.
Hmm.
Her father is a bishop.
Hmm.
And Anthony said he wanted to talk to Latoya's parents because he felt as though when he took that trip to Atlanta and they had that hardship in time, that Latoya's parents were not on his side and did not take his side and said some things that allegedly made Anthony feel bad. And so Anthony never had the conversation. And Latoya, his wife, said, you need to have the conversation with my parents. And he had the conversation with her father and said, hey, it made me feel bad. Some of the things you said, I wasn't just trying to leave my family. I was trying to make a living for them and so forth. And the father had a grown, spiritual, good conversation with him as well. And so I think part of what Brandon was looking for was validation from her parents as well, like Jonathan said. He was
Mhm.
looking for validation, but you can't get validation if you don't have a conversation. And so
Right.
that's what his wife was telling him, go and have the conversation with them and fix it and squash it. And when he did, he got back in the car and he said, and his wife asked him, is everything good? And he said, yes, I'm good. But the interesting part to all of this part of Love in Detroit, which I'm not sure if you all picked up on, but let me say this real quick before we get out of here. Love and Marriage Detroit is bringing the spiritual side in. I see what you're doing, Carlos
Mhm.
King. I see what you're doing because you've got Russell over here that wants to be the preacher. Then you've got Christina over here. And then you also got Colby, whose parents are ministers. Then you got Brandon and Christina. Now, Brandon is still out there. I don't know what the spiritual part of Brandon yet, but I'm going to find out what it is. But Christina will read that Bible in a minute, and she got the spiritual mentors on camera. So I see what you're doing. And then also you've got Latoya, whose parents are bishops and have their own church. So okay, Carlos, this is totally different from Love and Marriage Huntsville because you don't put God into the works over here on Love and Marriage Detroit, child. And what is a show without having God in it from Detroit anyway? Because let me tell you, I think
Detroit's
Okay.
big for their churches.
Detroit got probably more churches than Georgia. So I love
Uh-oh.
it. I love it, Carlos. All right, so y'all watch Love and Marriage Detroit. Y'all watch our Welcome to Crappie Lake and Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we'll keep on having these conversations, see if we can bring up some of the nice parts of it. I'm going to go real quick. Latoya, give me your closing thoughts, then Light of Leo, Jonathan, and then we're out of here, you guys. Latoya, what's your closing thoughts, girl?
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.
Amen.
I love that.
Thank you, girl. I love it. Go ahead, Light of the Leo, closing thoughts.
I was gonna say quit being annoying, but it doesn't seem as if it's like uplifting. So I would say continue to work on yourselves and build communication. Build communication, please.
I love
Hmm.
it. Bill communication is strong. And then
Yes.
TD said Detroit is an honorary member of the Bible Belt. Yep, Detroit and Georgia. I love it. Aaron said this great panel, wonderful show. Thank you, Aaron. And thank you, LaToya, for being both on panel and in the chat. Thank you so much. All right, Jonathan, closing thoughts.
Absolutely. Take a deep dive as to how you present yourself to the world. Is that the way that you want to be seen by the world? Is that the way that you want to be represented in the world? Is that the way you want to represent God in this world? If that's not the way you want to represent yourself or represent God in this world, then make a change. And maybe you might see a difference in the way that people react to you, or people receive you, or the people deal with you. And so reevaluate how it is that you represent yourself to others.
Amen.
I love it. And I'll say this in closing thoughts. Some people, and probably most of my church folks and friends, y'all may be like, well, I'm not watching that mess. Those are messy shows, and I'm not watching that. And why am I putting that in my spirit? I want you to do this. I want you to reconsider, and I want you to start watching some of these shows and understand that you could probably learn a lot from some of these marriages and some of these relationships that are going on. Something that you see on screen may one day be one of your friend's situations or your very own situation. How will you handle it? The way you may handle the situation may be based on the way you have conversations about the situation. So go ahead and watch it. It's not going to be anything bad. And if you feel like, well, I don't like the bad stuff, then do like my good friend T.D. McCullum says. Just eat the meat and throw away the bones. Take in what's good for you and get rid of what you don't like. Just, but I believe a lot of these shows can help a lot of relationships. It can tell you what not to do. It can tell you how people go through what they go through, and it could probably help you help somebody else. So that's what I get from it. If anything, get a good laugh out of it anyway. All right. TD says this, and then we're out of here. He says, make a change. Choir from man in the mirror. Make a change. That's right.
Yes.
I love it. Thank y'all so very much for being here. Light of the Leo is coming on tonight at 9:30. You're at 9.
At 9. Yes.
At 9 p.m. Y'all go over there to Light of the Leo's channel. Aaron has put it in the chat. Light of the Leo's channel. Y'all make sure y'all go over there, subscribe, comment. Y'all gonna hear some really great informative information, some loving information. She's gonna love on y'all over there. And
we're gonna talk about haters.
Hey, see there? Y'all share her channel too when you go over there. Share the channel, go over there, get your drinks and your little snacks or whatever, and share in the conversation. Thank y'all so very much for being here on the Juice Radio and Talk Show. We got plenty of other shows coming up. Make sure that you got your notification bells on so that you can be reminded what we're doing. All right. On the count of 3, team, we are out of here because I'm gonna go find my man.
Yes.
Oh wait, Regina.
Yeah.
Girl, I saw a picture of one of the Silver Fox Squad come down my timeline today.
Oh.
I need to get
I'm gonna have to send it to you, girl.
Send it to me, girl. You can DM me and I will show my husband. He'll probably get the DM faster than I do, child.
Uh-oh.
These phones being linked. These phones linked up. But girl, we need to have a talk about that.
There you go.
I love y'all for watching. Let's go over to Light of the Leo's channel, y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. On the count of 3, team, we are out of here. You guys don't have to stay for the commercials to finish because we have a busy schedule coming up. All right, Light of the Leo, TD, Light of the Leo. I'm so used to saying Light of the Leo and TD together. Love y'all both. Love you, JoJo. Love you, LaToya. Love you, Aaron, and everybody else who was in the chat. Y'all have a blessed evening.
Love you. Bye.
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 Do you enjoy smooth jazz saxophone? T.D. McCullum has 2 singles available with more to come. The first is an original song called Groove With Me, featuring the classic sounds of Washington, D.C. go-go and his smooth jazz saxophone. The second is called Drunk on Love, a smooth jazz saxophone cover of Rihanna's Drunk on Love from her 2011 Talk That Talk album. Both are available on all major streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube Music, and more. Add them to your favorite library and playlist today. And follow Tyrone on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Mr. T.D. McCullum for your music and bookings. JoJo Speaks is a YouTube channel that goes live every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. with hot topics and social commentary. Come join the Light of the Leo, Mr. T.D. McCullum, and our good friend Mike, Mr. Real 121, for fun and JoJo's unique spin on today's top stories. Go to YouTube, subscribe, like, share, and comment. If you are struggling to figure out who you are and where you're heading, but need a little light to bring you back on track, subscribe to the Light of the Leo for some healing and real conversation. Here is where you will find encouragement and the reminder that you are not alone. Continue your journey to freely be yourself at all times with the Light of the Leo. She goes live Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with her co-host, accountability partner, and little bro, JoJo Speaks. Join Faithful Warrior Ministries for our family and friends Saturday morning prayer. Every Saturday morning at 10-ish a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a great time catching up, sharing testimonies, and having transparent, real conversations about life. We encourage each other and show how we can fit God into each equation of our lives. Enjoy a devotional reading and family prayer. You have a prayer family with Faithful Warrior Ministries. Subscribe on YouTube at Faithful Warrior Ministries, and on Facebook, like us at Faithful Warrior Men. That's M-I-N as in Ministries. Join Pastor Lorenzo Evans and Living in Grace Ministries. The messages are not social media driven. They teach what's true and not what's popular. Living in Grace Ministries goes live every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube to Living in Grace Ministries and click on the notification bell. Pastor Lorenzo also has It Takes a Village podcast on the first and third Saturday of each month, pushing to bring back the village concept. We are more powerful when we are united. Together we stand, and division is not an option. A heartfelt thank you to all of our subscribers who joined us for this video. If you have not already subscribed, go to our YouTube channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show. Subscribe and click on the notification bell to be alerted whenever we go live. Join our private Juice community. Go to www.thejuicecommunity.com and sign up for free. Follow us on our podcast channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show Podcast, streaming on all podcast platforms. A great big thank you to our podcast production company, RHOA Podcast Productions. They can help you create your own podcast also. Contact them today at houseofnoye.com. Thank you to our sponsor, Custom Apparel Shop. Have them complete your embroidery work and silk screening needs. Do you need a logo created for your fashion apparel or company? Contact Israel Mason today. That is 786-657-7501. Thank you to our main sponsor, Truth and Triumph Ministries. Truth and Triumph Ministries, a ministry that cares about telling people the truth so they can triumph in life. Thank you, Truth and Triumph Ministries, for all you do.